Hello, everybody. I am here. Looks like there's already a few people here. I checked on the community tab, and this was the first one that the Mandela. Hello, Linda. The Mandela Effect was the first thing that I saw anybody asking for. I can't say people. I think it was just a person. It's like, okay, well, it was the first thing that somebody asked for, so we'll muddle through and do that. We'll ignore the mess behind me. I'm not sewing today because I thought I would actually pay attention to this and not be super, super distracted and see how that goes because I'm just doing the things. So what are we doing? That's there. Is that there? Yeah, I'm not gonna sew. I'm still mucking about. We had our. Is that gonna go back? That's not gonna go back there. That's gonna have to go there. I'm gonna go close my closet. Pretend I'm trying to be a little bit tidier. If I can close it. There we go. Look at that professional background going. We will ignore the boxes. We will ignore the ironing board. We will ignore everything else. So today we are talking about the Mandela Effect. I think most of us know what it is. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's to everybody else from yesterday. Lisa went and played her Baldur's Gate game with over on Dawn Michelle's channel. I don't know how I'm going to do this. That's a little bit better. There, look at the camera. I'm probably not going to look at the camera, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, we are looking at the Mandela Effect. And raise your hand if you already know what that is. Don't raise your hand if you don't know. Mandela Effect. The term Mandela Effect literally started, I literally had it up to 2009. Hey, it would really help. No. There we go. Okay, I want to get the person's name. Come on. Oh, it's not going to give me the person's name. Okay, here it is. Writer and researcher Fiona Broome coined the term over a decade ago when she created a website detailing her recollections of former South African President Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Obviously, he didn't die in prison in the 1980s, served 27 years, and then became president of South Africa. He died in 2013. Despite this, Broome thought she remembered international news coverage of Mandela's death in the 1980s and found other people who shared the same memories. So basically, she started comparing notes with people, and other people are like, yeah, he died in prison, his wife. And this is other stuff that I've already looked up earlier today, so I'm not going to read that. But basically, people remember that he died in prison in the 80s, and that there was a big, huge funeral for him, and that his wife gave a speech, and other people gave speeches, and then it was a big deal. The funny thing is that I kind of remember it being a big deal when he died in the 80s. I remember seeing, I wasn't that old myself, and I also remember him becoming president of South Africa. I think most of us do, but a lot of people were really surprised that he became. It's like, oh, didn't he die? I thought this, I thought that. So that's where the term came from. The term came from Nelson Mandela and so many people thinking that he had passed away. That's not the one I want. Oh, yes, it is. Thinking that he had passed away in the 80s. And so this person, where is she? What's her name again? Fiona Broome. Let's see if it's still there. It is. I can share it. Come on. Nope. I don't know if it's still there or not. She created a website to track all this stuff. And I forgot to click the link when I had it open a while ago. So now I don't have it. But if it manages to come up, I'll do that. So that's the Mandela effect. Now, let's go straight to quantum physics, because I don't know if you want to call it a conspiracy theory or not, because in quantum physics, the idea of a multiverse, and if you've ever watched Multiverse of Madness or any of the multiverse episodes of the Marvel universe, you'll get kind of a nice, easy to understand condensed version of what that is. But quantum physics has some problems of how things work out. And the idea that we can have multiple universes. So everything you do creates a split. Everything that you do creates a split. And those splits have bigger or smaller consequences. And so quantum physics really supports, quantum physics currently supports the idea that we have multiple universes, and that there literally is a timeline that can split depending on how and when things happen. So this Mandela effect really fits in beautifully with the multiverse theories, which gets really weird really fast. If you've ever heard of a movie called What the Bleep, you'll get a really nice, well-rounded. Apparently there's a bit of a cult religion around. There's a bit of a cult built up around this idea. Hello there, Sarah. There's a bit of a cult wrapped up around this idea of everything, everywhere, all at once type stuff. But What the Bleep kind of gets you a really nice idea of what that's all about. I'm not really getting anything that matters yet. There we go. This is a 2004 film. It's not going to let me show it. I don't think I can show that without my computer dying. Come on, let's at least get the image so you know what you're looking for. It's a book and there's a DVD. This came out a long time ago. I found the concept. There's a spiritual community that's wrapped themselves around this, which was a little bit problematic. But the concepts that they were discussing, I found really fascinating. So let's see what's going on. Let's see if I can show you. I am not very good at. Nope, that's not it. There it is. So this is called What the Bleep Do We Know? This came from 2004. And this also talks about the quantum physics idea. It talks about quantum physics. Well, quantum physics as it existed as a field of science 20 years ago, but they were already then 20 years ago in 2004 talking about the idea of what we, thanks to the Marvel cinematic universe, are now calling a multiverse. So they had some really interesting thoughts and ideas. They put it in a very spiritual context. But they were talking about that then. And if you want some ideas on, if you have access to this, because at one point in time, you could go download the movie for free. What the Bleep Do We Know is a movie. At one point in time, you could go get it for free. I have no idea where it's. Yeah, I don't know if we still have it or not, but I don't know if we still have it, but we had it and we watched through it. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting. There's some apparently there's almost like a cult that financed this movie. So they really put forward some of their own spiritual thoughts and ideas, which were a little weird at times, but they did actually talk to scientists actively working in quantum physics at the time. And it was really interesting. There's going to be a lot of as I figure out where I want to click and what I want to do and all that happy horse shit. But anyway, we're not going to stay on quantum physics for very long, because this is something that a lot of people. Part of the reason why people are taking this seriously in the way that they're taking it seriously is because of some of the new theories that are coming out in quantum physics, and there are some. Okay, I have no idea how supported it is. I have no idea how much support these people are getting, but there are people that claim that they're actually researching, like I said, an actual multiverse. And there's been theories put forward that explain quantum physics is a brand new field of science. It's dealing with the very, 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 very tiny. And there's people that are researching the idea of there's people that are actively researching the idea that we're living in a simulation. There's people researching the idea of, like, we have this idea of infinite space, but is there infinite? Oh my God, they even had a name for it in the one freaking Marvel movie. But is there an idea that smallness is infinite as well, and stuff like that, and how they interact with each other? So the idea of the Mandela effect being real and proof of a multiverse is apparently currently being taken seriously by people that are actually in science and academia. I have no idea how serious. I have no idea. I'm not going to speak for anybody, but anyway. So that is that. Yeah, the Mandela effect cannot be reached. So that site is probably no longer there. But so the Mandela effect, the Mandela effect, to repeat, is this started off by a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broome, who recalled that the late South African President Nelson Mandela had actually died in the 1980s while in prison, instead of passing away in 2013 after becoming the president of South Africa. So the reason why this became a big deal and worth looking at is because of the sheer number of people. I lost it. The sheer number of people who had that memory. That's where things got weird for everybody, right? Well, let's see if I do this right. I did it right. I think I did it right. So, of course, I can't read it. I can't read it from here. I have to go over there. So yeah, let's start with the reason we're all here. Nelson Mandela, who this theory is named after, died in 2013. However, countless people distinctly remember him dying in prison in the 80s. And this is the thing. The reason why this became a phenomenon, the reason why memory can be totally fucked up. Memory can be a complete shit show at the best of times. The reason why this became a thing is because this is a major person. This is a like, everybody knew who Mandela was, like, globally, right? And yet so many people, it's not the fact that some people thought like this. It's a matter of the sheer number of people who thought that he had already passed away. If it's true, I'd love to hop to another plane where I have more money. Seriously, though, at least very interesting stuff from a thought process point of view. It's it's really interesting because these ideas of a multiverse, there's actually a really weird movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie Lee Curtis is actually in it. And it really explores this idea that on some worlds you are like the president of the world. On other worlds, life didn't even develop at all. So, and everything in between, everything everywhere all at once. And I get that I'm quoting Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Avengers and stuff like that. But the reality is this is the interesting part. This is the part that gets a little weird, because it gets a little weird and it gets a little hard to take the concept seriously, because obviously in our entertainment, we explore this kind of stuff for funsies. Right. And it's like, well, that can't be real. That's just a movie. And it's like, well, actually, the movie took something that people believe and turned that and then had fun with it. It's like, that's how entertainment happens. Right. Anyway. So let me see. So let's start with this one. Causes. So we're gonna start with what people think. So I'm just gonna read this out. Memory is highly malleable. Input from other people can change memories, causing people to misremember events or remember events that never happened. And that's true. That's true. Some potential causes of the Mandela effect include false memories. False memories are untrue or distorted recollections of an event, and this is why it's so hard to take seriously that nobody wants to take anything. This is too weird to take seriously without proof, right? And I know for a fact that I've misremembered things. We've all misremembered something, right? Come on, go back. Let's do that again. So memory is very suggestible, and they've done experiments to prove this. This means that information from another person, a person's desire to believe something different, or false information online can influence memory, and that is true. That's where it gets all fucked up. So we can get really I distinctly remember that my appointment was at 4:00 and it turns out that it was at 2:30, right? Maybe I'm thinking of a different appointment that I had a few weeks ago and getting it mixed up with the current appointment. Memory is fucking weird. So there's the number one thing. Are these memories real? And some of the time they probably aren't, right? Now, my thinking, I think where it gets really weird and where it gets really interesting. See, I believe that no matter how far out the theory is, if enough people think that a theory is, if enough people take it seriously, then I think it should be seriously and honestly, I think if enough people are taking something seriously, it should be seriously investigated. Me misremembering when an appointment is, hey, Sonny, me misremembering when an appointment is one kind of false memories and things like that. And I totally get where that comes from. But millions and millions of people remembering Nelson Mandela's funeral while he was still alive, that's a whole different thing. That is a whole different problem. It's like to go, oh, didn't he pass away? Didn't he pass away? Oh, okay, that's fine. That kind of false memory is normal. Oh, didn't this happen? That's normal. Well, no, I remember watching his funeral on TV and his wife gave speeches. That's not normal, right? And a lot of times when that's not normal happens, we chalk it up to mass hysteria. And then sometimes we find out that there was no hysteria at all. And it was actually true. So this is where the mind fuck happens for me. It's like maybe some propaganda-based news outlet started pumping all this news out, and that's what we saw. But because there's no evidence, it's like, no, it was false memories. It was hysteria. Maybe there is a rational explanation for it, or maybe we live in a multiverse. Maybe we live in one section of the multiverse, right? We don't know. And quantum physics, which I don't know enough about, we need to explore quantum physics all by itself. Some of the theories of quantum physics supports the idea of a multiverse, which is where things get really, really weird. Like I said, what the bleep did we know in 2004 is one thing, but 20 years later, and legitimate scientists are saying that in theory, it's possible for a multiverse to exist based on what we've learned from quantum physics. And like I said, I have no idea how much support that theory has in the wider scientific community. I guess in their scientific community, but anyway. So that is, yeah. And there's a bunch of stuff that I remember, and there's a bunch of stuff that I don't remember. So I'm trying to do a split screen so I can actually pay attention to the chat at the same time. Yeah, you know what? I think it's super fascinating. I will be right back. I have to do a thing. Get up here. Okay. One thing I forgot to set up was that I have to have the chat open on a not in front of the microphone. I have to have the chat open on a separate device, because once I switch over, I've got this set up so that we can look at other things while we talk. But if I do that, I can't see the chat at all. So I'm just coming. Oh, no. Ignore the echo. If I do that, I can't see the chat at all. So I'm just coming. Oh, no. Ignore the echo. Oh, for fuck. Oh, no. Ignore the echo. Oh, for fuck. Don't mind me. I hate my devices sometimes. There we go. There it is. Don't mind me. I hate my devices sometimes. There we go. There it is. Okay, I can't do it there. I cannot do it there. Where can I do it? Oh. Yeah, as mind-blowing as it is, it's totally conceivable. And this is the thing. This is, like I said, we promised that we were going to muddle through and try our best and not. Okay. I can't see the chat. Like I said, we promised that we were going to muddle through and try our best and not. Okay. I can't see the chat. I need to mute this, and it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Up there. I need to mute this, and it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not it. I need to mute this, and it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay. Oh, wait. Nope, is that it? No, that's not going to work either. Okay. I am going to have to get Lisa to show me how that works because I'm trying to bring it up. I don't use my iPad that much. So when I'm trying to figure out how to do something on it, I quite often have to spend way more time than I'd like. Okay. Forget that. La 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 la. That's not it. Where'd my shit go? There's my shit go. I don't want to be over there. Okay, that should do it. Okay. Nope, that ain't it. Okay, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. And obviously, don't feel absolutely free to talk among yourselves if I'm bouncing back and forth and not seeing what I need to see. I'm trying to put this into split screen so I can still keep track of it, so I can still watch the chat, and I'm not finding the. That's stupid. Sorry, I'm just yelling at my computer now because I can. Okay, I don't want that. I didn't think I was going to need this, so of course I didn't bother looking it up until just now. Nope. Okay. Let us begin. Okay, so Nelson Mandela's death is the obvious one. And it is. Nelson Mandela's death basically got the attention of an actual researcher who then started a thing, and then it snowballed. And I've already gone over that like 2 or 3 times. I still want the chat up. That's not it. You know what? I'm not even seeing the chat anyway. Wait. I got it. Okay, I got it. I took one last chance just when you're ready to give up, right? Okay, I got it. Now I just have to turn off the sound. Oh. Perfect. Just turn the sound right off. There we go. Okay, so now I can watch the chat. Husband is tormenting me with dinner smells. Aw. What you having? Okay. So let us enjoy a listing of some of the things. So some of these are small. Okay, like Britney Spears' famous music video, "Oops, I Did It Again." People remember seeing her wearing the microphone headset in the video, and the doll that was sold along with whatever this tour was sold with a headset. However, after rewatching it, it's clear she never wore it in the video. So how do we all have a clear image of this? According to one YouTuber, it's likely because Britney is famous for performing live with a microphone headset and the two are merging in our heads. Okay, that's possible. Like, let's face it, some of these we're gonna go, well, that's possible. That's fine. That's fine. They're all possible. They're all somewhat possible, right? The problem is, don't mind me, I'm just moving things around now. I got to make sure that the microphone doesn't, if I put things in front of the microphone, you guys can't hear me. It's possible. If somebody is famous for doing a thing and then they fail to do that thing on one occasion, it's possible that a very large number of people can misremember. And this could be. I don't think I would see this as proof of, well, I would see this as a whole lot of things, because I don't know that I necessarily believe in a multiverse, but I do think that there's something to it when there is, I do think there's something to it when things are like Jif and Jiffy. I remember Jiffy. I remember Jiffy peanut butter, but we also had a brand called Skippy. So it's like, how, I don't know. There's a, I remember Jiffy. I remember it being Jiffy. And it's okay. It's okay if I'm wrong. People swear there was a Jiffy peanut butter back in the days, but we speculate they're combining Jif with its competitor Skippy. It's possible. It's possible. But it's also possible that we live in a multiverse and it came over and, you know, one of the multiverse theories is that it's not separating timelines, but it's more like a braid. So you may get to hear on this timeline, flip up to this one for a bit, and then come back to this one. And so one of the theories is revolving around the idea of people entering and leaving. So it's like, okay, like like the mall, right? You go into a store, but you have to come back into the mall. You go into a different store, you have to come back into the mall, right? So, yep, that one's here. That one is here as well, Sonia D. Who remembers Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes? TUNES. I remember TOONS. I remember it that way. Oh, well, have fun with your work. It's not fun. I'm doing this to avoid work. Anyway, so this is a fun, this one here, I remember TOONS. That's just what I remember. Bernstein Bears. Now, I remember it being spelt. You know what? When I look at this, they both look wrong. They both look wrong to me. And my kids were addicted to Bernstein Bears when they were Berenstein Bears. See, I thought it was Bernstein Bears, BERNST, whichever. I think I mostly remember BERNSTAIN. So I'm off on my own little planet over here. I'm off on my own little planet here, remembering something completely different. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Curious George. Who remembers Curious George? I remember Curious George having a tail. And they say he doesn't. I remember Curious George having a tail because I remember a couple of stories where he was hanging by his tail or using his tail to grab things. So why he suddenly doesn't have a tail, I don't know. Real monkeys don't have a tail. So, yeah, his tail was never there. It's like, but it was. Who remembers his tail? Who remembers Curious George's tail? Sex in the City? Yeah, I remember it as Sex. I actually never watched it. I actually never watched the show. I didn't really like it that much, but I remember it being Sex in the City, not Sex and the City. Yeah. Febreze, 2 E's. I remember that. Oscar Mayer. Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was My Baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. My Baloney has a second name. It's MEYER. Yeah, I always remember it being an E. Honestly, the song works with either one, so who knows? Who knows? Anyway, where are we at now? Skechers. I never wore Skechers. but this is Skeechers. This is Skeechers, not Skechers. That's how you. I'm sorry, I'm waving my mouse. The Skechers is the T. That's, oh, you can see my mouse flopping around in there. Yeah, Skechers, not Skeechers. Yeah, why would there be no, it's like, why are they why would they misspell it? So anyway, Fruit Loops. No, I remember the double O's. I remember the double O's and the double, FROOT. I know, that's how I remember it. Yeah, okay, this is making me feel like I have dementia. This is the thing, right? It's like we've got all this memory shit happening. And here's the thing. My personal theory is that the possibility of some sort of multiverse phenomenon, I think that's real. I think it's very possible. Are we, quantum physics quantum physics is like some crazy ass stuff. Is it possible that there are branches of reality that just kind of like a braid that just overlap and interact and react with each other? Is that possible? How big is the gap? Who knows, right? I think it's worth serious study, because we're not talking that it's one thing if one of your friends says, oh, I didn't know that Ottawa was the capital of Canada. Okay, well, if you're not living in, even people in Canada don't always know that, right? It's like, okay, that's fine. But if you've got millions of people, well, maybe that's a bad one. Okay, New York City is in New York, right? So if you've got millions upon millions upon millions of people who go, no, this is that have heard of New York. Okay, Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Well, I know where Ottawa is, but it's not the capital. Okay, that's a different kind of memory failure than just simply, well, I didn't take geography. I don't remember geography from high school, so I couldn't tell you what the capital of Canada is. That's fine. You don't know. Well, no, I know all about Ottawa. Ottawa is not the capital of Canada. It's this, it's that, it's whatever, right? So, yeah, it gets really fucked up. Let's move along. This is a weird one. I'm not sure what I think about this one. This is like too much of a history grab for me, and I wouldn't know one way or the other. I know nothing about. In the one on the right, he's holding a turkey leg up towards his face, and in the one on the one on the left, he's holding a turkey leg up towards his face, and the one on the right, he's his arm is down and he's holding a probably a pair of gloves or something like that, right? I would have no way to know. There's no way I would know, but the one on the right is the one that's correct. The one on the left, but he was a big man, and he was rumored to be a big eater. So there's probably a lot of big jokes about him. So who knows, right? That's a little bit too historical. So Mr. Moneybags in Monopoly has always had a monocle, as far as I was aware. I have no idea that he didn't. Right back. I swear to God, I can't do anything without needing to go blow my nose at least once. So this one here, I will say that something is weird here, because Monopoly is like, I don't know. Okay, personally, I don't know anybody who didn't play hours and hours and hours of Monopoly growing up. So why I remember a monocle when the current version doesn't have one is beyond me. Pikachu's tail. Yeah, I remember Pikachu's, the tip of his tail be. Actually, I'm not sure. I remember both. See, whenever I encountered this stuff, whenever you encountered this stuff, for me at least, I would encounter this stuff and I'd be like going, oh, they've changed it. They've changed the graphics. And I wouldn't think anything of it. And then like a bazillion years later, because I remember seeing both. So a bazillion years later, they're going, oh, it was never that one. And I'm like, well, no, yes, it was. So I think part of the Mandela effect too is it's really easy to go, oh well, they've just, because a lot of it is visual. So it's like, oh well, they've just changed it. They've just changed how it looks. But apparently I'm from another planet because I remember all the stuff that's wrong. It's like I don't remember any of the stuff that's currently correct. That's what it is. I just showed up from another dimension one day. We've got the Fruit of the Loom logo. I remember it with the cornucopia, and it's not. But yeah, I remember seeing the cornucopia, the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia, but they say it does. They say it doesn't and never did. So I don't know. No, I think I think all sorts of things. I think it's fun scrolling through these lists and seeing where your memory is. And the thing that I find is really, really fascinating is the sheer number of people whose memories are wrong. It's not just oh, Peggy, you're so weird. You think, if it's more than 3, you're crazy. And it's like, but dude, it's most of these for me. And I think that's where it gets really, really weird, is just for how many people. It's like, no, I remember, Cheez-Its, not Cheez-It, Cheez-Its, I-T-Z. I remember the Z. That's how you pronounce it. That's how you pronounce it. It's not Cheez-It, it's Cheez-Its. That's what we've always called them. Anyway, double stuffed Oreos. Yeah, I don't know why I would. I don't know one way or the other on this one. Who's keeping score? Is anybody keeping score? We should have started this going, let's keep score. Let's keep score and find out how crazy we all are. Mona Lisa's smile. A lot of people claim that she used to have a more obvious smile. She does not look like she's smiling in either one of these. So I have no idea. But then again, this is like going back into the high-end arts. C-3PO and his silver leg. I do not remember a silver leg. I do not. I think he was a golden android. I do not remember him having a different colored leg. I remember the one on the left. Flintstones has 2 T's. Flintstones. Yeah, this one, neither one of them looks right to me. So neither one of them looks right. I don't know. Cinderella's Castle. Yeah, I wouldn't know about Cinderella's Castle. I've never been to Disney, but there's only one Cinderella's Castle, and it's on Walt Disney World in Florida. The blue and pink castle in California's Disneyland is Sleeping Beauties. I never even realized that they were both supposed to be Ed McMahon and Publishers Clearinghouse. American Family Publishers, but he never handed anyone checks. His face was simply on the envelopes. That's wrong. I remember videos. I remember little bits. Ed McMahon. Nope, my kids have that Star Wars from the 80s, and he's all gold. Mirror, mirror on the wall is no longer what is said in Snow White. It apparently isn't. It's always been magic mirror on the wall. Yeah, oh my God, that one. I remember, because we used to watch the Johnny Carson show religiously, and Ed McMahon, for promos, he wouldn't go around to people's house. He doesn't deliver every single check. But for promo videos and stuff like that, they would occasionally surprise somebody and he would go up and give them a check. So, yeah, I don't really know which one it was. Like whether it was American Family Publishers or Publishers Clearinghouse, but I remember him handing people checks. Like I said, I'm on camera, but he never went around delivering everybody's check. But every now and again, some of the bigger winners, he would go around, he would give them a check. Play it again, Sam. Oh, see? Okay, play it again, Sam. In the movie Casablanca, the line is never said. What is said by Ingrid Bergman's character is, play it once, Sam, for old time's sake. And then there's another one. There's another one where, play it again, Sam, though I thought that was Humphrey Bogart's line. And what he said was, you played it for her, you can play it for me, play it again, Sam. Or something like that. But yeah, play it again. Yeah, I remember playing. I've never seen the movie though. I've only seen clips of it. So, but I remember seeing a clip where because commercials and stuff, right? I remember seeing clips and commercials where that's exactly what he said. Luke, I am your father. We're back to Star Wars again. I remember Luke, I am your father, and now it's no, I am your father. And yeah, because didn't the toys say Luke, I am your father? The pull string toys said Luke, I am your father. I don't know. We're gonna need a bigger boat, is what they said. Oh, this is from Jaws. This is from Jaws. I don't remember. I was a kid when Jaws came out. Chartreuse. Yeah, I always thought chartreuse was a pink color, but in reality, it's a shade of green. Lisa and I had a thing the one day because she said something chartreuse, right? I'm like going, well, yeah, but that's a weird shade of. I forget what happened. And I basically said, well, yeah, chartreuse. You know, oh, we were talking about, yeah, like you're the one who knows 15 colors of pink, like blah blah blah, chartreuse and blah. And she starts laughing. She goes, chartreuse is a shade of green, and I'm like, no, it's a shade of pink. We didn't argue in an angry way, but we went back and forth on this. It's like, no, it's pink. It's pink. It's pink. So yeah, I have no idea. I remember it as being a pink. Apparently, I'm the one who's from the alternate reality here because like I said, okay, life is like a box of chocolates. Life was like a box of chocolates. That's too specific. That's a really, I don't know. I remember life is like a box of chocolates, but it could be either. I'll be wrong on that one. I'll just have a bad memory for this one. Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall. Magic mirror on the wall. I remember mirror, mirror on the wall. Sally Field is now Sally Field, and Christopher Reeves is now Christopher Reeves. They got rid of the S at the end of their names. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, right? It's like for me, the evidence for me, like they talk about like splitting, complete splitting, which would have a certain degree, and this is about the quantum physics element of multiverses. I think it's more of a braid. I think it's more of a braid where things come back in contact over and over again. But anyway, and that's assuming that it's real. While some swore the Black Eyed Peas released their hit Boom Boom Pow in 2008, it really came out in 2009. Fergie doesn't sing I'm 2008, so you're 2000 and late. She says I'm 3008, so you're 2000 and late. I've never heard the song, so I've never heard the song, so I don't know. Tom Cruise sunglasses. If you've ever seen someone dress up as Tom Cruise from Risky Business, they most likely were wearing some cool shades. Yes. Fans often remember him rocking sunglasses in that dance scene, but he didn't. Just socks, a button-up shirt, and a whole lot of confidence. Now, I can agree that he maybe got rid of the sunglasses partway through, but didn't he start off in front of a fireplace, turns around, and he's got sunglasses on. He starts his thing, and then whatever. Now, like I said, if he ends up taking them off at some point, that's fine. But I remember him with sunglasses on. Oh, run, you fools. Hate to burst your bubble again, but this memorable line was never said by Gandalf. Before his treacherous fall, you can clearly hear him say, "Fly, you fools." Fly? That's weird. Why would he tell people who can't fly to fly? That's just weird. Hello, Clarice. We don't know what's scarier, the fact that we remember Hannibal Lecter saying, "Hello, Clarice," or the reality was that all he said was, "Good morning." Now, I never saw the movie. So whatever you guys remember, let me know. And if you have one, obviously, if you have one that's not on this, these lists are getting bigger and bigger. If you have one that's interesting that you haven't seen yet, obviously go ahead and share it below. Like, what is your biggest mind fuck of a what? That's not how it went. Of the world. Yeah, we are the champions of the world. Oh, and your favorite song, The Mandela Effect, is here to ruin that too. We all think of Freddie Mercury belting out "of the world" at the end of "We Are the Champions," but it never happened. However, he does say the words at the end of the song during the band's famous Wembley Stadium performance. Yeah, no, he said the notes are there. We are the champions. And then there's like, da, da, da. Of course he's going to sing Of the World. That's the only thing that fits. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Mr. Rogers' theme song. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. I don't think I would know the difference. I was a kid. I was way too young. Yeah, there are many Bible Mandela things. Oh, there absolutely are. I want to look that up one day. Lucy, you have some splaining to do. Splain that if you can, Lucy, splain. But he did say you have some splaining to do. He did say that. The fact that he said splain instead of explain was part of the joke, and he said it a whole bunch of different ways. Number of U.S. states, what? The correct answer is 50, obviously, but some Americans and foreigners recall learning that there were 51 or 52. Now, that's an interesting one. I've seen this one before, and I'm not sure where that would come from. I learned that there were 50, 48 contiguous, Alaska, Hawaii. I think there's a lot of people that have learned that, what are the two? There's two, right? There's Puerto Rico is now a territory of the U.S. and there's another one. And I think there's people that have learned that those are states and people that have learned that they are territories, but not states. Like Canada, Canada has 10 provinces, but we have 3 territories. So we keep them separate. But some people don't separate them. So Sinbad never played a genie. This one's bizarre because I remember him playing a genie. But I don't remember him. This one is perhaps the most bizarre of all. Several people can attest that they distinctly remember seeing a comedian in a movie called Shazam. Many argue they're confusing this memory with the movie Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie, but who really knows? Okay, Shazam, I don't remember Shaquille O'Neal starring in a movie called Shazam, but I do remember him playing the part of a genie in a movie, and I do remember seeing Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal. So, who knows? Who knows? Oh, the Virgin Islands, yeah. Last few were a crock of shit, lies. Yeah, you like me. You really like me. When Sally Fields won her Oscar for Places in the Heart in 1985, she never said the line, her acceptance. Oh my God, her expectance. I'm looking over here because there's a screen and the camera's up there. It's like, so yeah, I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you really like me. I remember back then we were still watching those kinds of award shows. And I remember she got up, she took her award, she hugged it, she was crying, and she went, "You like me, you really like me." And then she went on with her speech. I remember that because at the time I was a really huge fan of Sally Field, yeah. Because she was up until this movie, she was best known for duetting with Burt Reynolds in the Cannonball movies and stuff like that. Things that weren't going to win awards. Movies that were fun and popular, but not kitschy enough to get awards. So yeah. Smokey Bear. Yep, that's his name. Contrary to popular belief, his name isn't Smokey the Bear. Who remembers Smokey the Bear? I remember Smokey the Bear. Smokey the Bear says, don't play with matches. Isn't that the one? Tank Man. Yeah, this one here is weird because this is recollections on the event vary. This is Tiananmen Square. Some say the unidentified man known as Tank Man was run over and killed, but other videos show him unharmed. I went looking this one up because I remember him being run over. Like, because of the way the tanks are positioned, this is going to be, well, no, it's not going to be gross. Because of the way the tanks are positioned, I remember seeing a video where he just kind of falls back and the tanks keep rolling. There's nothing to be seen. You know what happened, but there's nothing to see, which, I remember seeing that. And then I looked it up and I went, what do you mean he wasn't run over? Of course he was run over. That's part of what triggered events to get as bad as what they did, right? So then they show a video, the tank stopped, and he literally I don't know if he took his bags with him or put his bags down, but he climbs up and he's like, there's a hatch that's open for the driver. or for whatever. And he's literally climbed up and he's on the side of on the top area. Like, yeah, I'm pointing as if you guys can see that. You know what I need to do? I need to have a bigger mouse because my mouse is actually visible here. But he climbed up to this area here. Yeah, right there. He climbed up to that area there where there's a bit of a hatch, and he's leaning in, like yelling at people, yelling at the soldiers. And it's like, I remember watching, because I remember thinking, this one's one of those I will die on this fucking hill, because this is 1989 Tiananmen Square, and do not forget that in 1985 in Tiananmen Square, somebody getting killed or gravely injured, it was not something that they would show on the news. And I remember seeing it. And I remember going, oh, because once he fell down, there's nothing to see. So they decided to show it. Because, yeah, if I remember, I'm trying to remember, because now I've watched so much of it, right? But the tanks stopped. Head pops up, like, get the fuck out of the way. He's like, no. Head pops down. They kept rolling. That's what I remember. Okay, Neil Armstrong's death. Oddly enough, people have no recollection of the aeronautic legend's death. Many fans apparently forgot or didn't notice the news of his passing in 2012. I had no idea he was gone. This is the weird thing. There's a second theory that I just remembered now. So give me a second to put my thoughts together, which is a bit more on the conspiracy land side of things. Billy Graham's death. Like Mandela, many can't place on Billy Graham's funeral aired on TV. He died in February 2018. However, some people believe it happened in the 90s. I don't think I would have paid attention to anything going on with that guy. So there is a theory. And you see, there's some science fiction stories that address it. And that is, something happened and a reset button was pushed. And when the reset button was pushed, not everything went back the way it was supposed to go. Just like if you press the press the reset button, if I reach over right now and hold down the power button on my computer, depending on the device, there'll be a pop-up. Are you sure you want to shut down? You may lose your unsaved progress, right? So there is a theory. The quantum physics theory of multiverses actually has some credibility in scientific circles. The scientific theory that we are all just in a simulation. There are people looking at the possibility that we could be in a simulation based on certain, again, quantum physics. So basically, if we're living in a simulation and somebody has hit the reset button and not everything reset properly, right? So there's people that believe that as well, that we were reset. Because let's face it, okay, the world comes with a reset button. Boing, everything's been reset. I would have no memory of what my life was like 5 minutes ago, except because it's a reset, right? So if you reset your computer has no memory of what things that happened before you reset it back to whatever. So a reset happens, and you have no memory of something. Maybe I was a multi-trillionaire 5 minutes ago, but the reset button has now placed me here. I resent you all if that's true. But anyway. So that is something else that is something else that people are talking about more and more. And that is based on, I don't think anybody's like seriously investigating, are we living in a simulation? But once that came up, other theories started forming, going, well, what if there's been a reset? What if we are living in a simulation and somebody literally hit the reset button, and so all these memory things that we're because we're not just seeing this a few hundred people. We're seeing this like half the population, half the people remember this, half the people remember that. There's something weird going on. There is either some weird function of the brain that we need to explore more. There's a multiverse, or there's a reset button. It gets weird and weird and weird and weird and weird, but I'd like to believe that there's something they can figure out. Like, I mean, they've already done memory studies, but memory studies don't explain shared. False memories are a thing. False memories are real. You can have a false memory. You can have some pretty fucked up false memories, but false memories that are shared among significant portions of the population, that's weird. That's different. That's very strange. Okay, I saw him standing there by the record machine. Yeah, even the biggest Joan Jett fans swear they remember her singing, I saw him standing there by the record machine, and I love rock and roll. But what she really said is, I saw him dancing there by the record machine. Put another dime in the jukebox and give it a re-listen. Okay. I will say that for some songs, depending on how the song is being sung, you can mistake one word for the other. I've done that all the time. There's entire songs. It's like, oh, I love this song, la 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 la, and you look at the lyrics and go, oh my God, I've been getting it wrong all this time. And maybe I'm not. Maybe that's a Mandela effect. I don't know. Maybe that's something we should just start our own little private collection. Like, go back through all your favorite songs and actually look up the lyrics. Have you been singing them right this whole time? Most of us probably haven't, but then again, yeah, I remember I saw him standing there by the record machine, but I could easily see it sounding like either word. So who knows? Who knows? Mother Teresa's canonization. People have strong opinions about whether Mother Teresa was canonized as a saint. The real event happened in 2016, but many remember her entering sainthood in the 1990s when she was still alive. I remember the process beginning while she was still alive. But other than that, I don't remember much. I remember, okay, well, I do remember some stuff. Let me see. What do I remember? I remember that, okay, being elevated as a saint is a process that certain things have to happen. Then they have to be verified. Then there's all sorts of steps that have to happen. And I remember that they started all of that while she was still alive. And then like she died, and like almost immediately she was declared a saint, because in order to be declared a saint, you have to be dead. That's the only thing, at least that's as far as I know. I'm not a Catholic. I wouldn't know. So if I'm getting it wrong, but it's my understanding that that it happened, that the process was started, because there's beautification is one step. There has to be a miracle attributed to her, attributed to the person. Then I don't know. Space shuttle Challenger explosion. Yeah, I would not. Okay, the space shuttle happened in 1986. I remember, it happening in 84 or 85. I wouldn't know. You ask me what year did something happen, and I'm like, maybe this. I don't know. I don't do that. Lindbergh baby. When aviator Charles Lindbergh's infant son was kidnapped, the entire world focused their attention on the story. Many remember the case going cold, but they sadly found the body and sentenced the killer to death for the heinous crime. I obviously was not around. I'm not old enough to remember any of that. The stories that I read, I always read, yeah, they found the killers. Yeah, I remember reading that it was a cold. I remember both, honestly, in this weird way. I remember reading that they never found the baby or the kidnappers, and that was just the end of it. But then I also remember reading that that a couple was executed. I remember reading about an execution, but I don't remember. But I thought it was a couple. I thought it was this weird couple. Let me see. Bruno Hauptmann was arrested for the crime. After the trial that lasted, the baby's body was discovered by a truck driver on the side of the road. After a trial lasted he was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. Despite his conviction, he continued to profess his innocence, but all appeals failed, and he was executed in the electric chair. His guilt or lack thereof continues to be debated in the modern day. Newspaper H.L. Mencken called the kidnapping and trial the biggest story since the resurrection. Yeah, see, this reads weird to me. I remember seeing the name. It's like, oh right, I remember that guy. But yeah, the Lindbergh the Lindbergh case was weird. It was that the entire Lindbergh case was weird. There's a ton of conspiracy theories around that. Patrick Swayze's health. Although the actor sadly died in 2009 after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, people have said they remember him recovering. Yeah, I don't remember much about that. I remember he was fine. Wow, he's really sick. Oh, and then just didn't hear about him anymore after that. Okay. Right back. I'm back. Sorry, guys. For those who may not know, I had COVID at the beginning of January, but it's coming with it's all gone. It's mine. I'm better, but it came with a really aggressive, like post-nasal drip that doesn't want to end. It's like pissing me off. So it's either get up every now and again or just don't film. And I'd rather hang out with you guys. Mickey Mouse's tail. What the heck? When most people envision Mickey Mouse, tail doesn't come to mind. In original illustrations, he had a full tail. He also has it today. Yeah, I've always remembered him with a tail. I've always remembered Mickey with a tail. Okay, the castle. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, he will come. I don't remember the movie, so I don't know. Wizard of Oz. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Or we're not in Kansas anymore. I don't know. Beam me up, Scotty. That's a weird one, honestly, because, I mean, there's so many episodes where he could have said it. Scotty, beam us up. He never said those exact words. Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay. That's it. That is my long and exhaustive list. That is my very long, very exhaustive list of all the Mandela Effect. Let me go click the things properly. Do. So anyway, is the Mandela Effect real? And technically, yes. We have situations where large numbers of people believe things went one way, and equally large numbers of people believe that they went the opposite way. What's causing it? What causes the Mandela Effect? The Mandela Effect is when a group of people misremember a historical event or person. What's really interesting is the unfortunate problem is that false memories can be a thing for some people. Bad memories can be a thing. Misremembering small details can be a thing. I think there's more to it than that. At least I'd like to believe there's more to it than that. I don't know. I think on an individual level, when things happen individually, like if I misremember something, then that's no big deal. But when you're looking at a situation where everybody in the room misremembers the same thing, then you have to ask yourself, what the hell's going on? Something's happening, right? There's no way for there not to be, not no way, but like, what is causing large groups of people to have the same false memory? So I don't know. I think quantum physics and multiverse theories has a lot of interesting, if those things are true, then it would just, that explains it all, which is really like weird. Not weird. I don't know how to, I don't know how to describe how I think about this, because the reality is that we've got legitimate scientists saying, oh, we have, you know, from a theoretical perspective, we can theoretically infer that we live in a simulation. We can theoretically infer a multiverse. We can theoretically infer that. Oh, but your memories, that's just all on you, babe. Something's not right. My memories, me misremembering a particular appointment or whatever, can be, that's fine. People forget. Nobody has a perfect memory. Even people who think they have photographic memories don't. Every memory, well, okay, unless you have like an eidetic memory, then, but that's usually related to other conditions as well. Like that's its own special problem. But anyway, I just wanted to do this one. Like I said, it was the first one that was brought up. Confabulation. Okay, so here is the medical news today. Here is the medical side of things. So let's go over that one a little bit. Mandela Effect is when a group of people misremember a historic event. A person causes memory is highly malleable, which I mean, I'm on board with that. I'm on board with memory is malleable. People misremember things. I'm on board with that. What I'm not on board with is remembering being taught certain things over and over and over and over and over again in school, and then going to look something up, going, oh yeah, well in school they taught us this, and then go, oh, that's not true anymore. What? What's going on? Why is that not true anymore? And I'm not talking about, oh, they redid these experiments and found out this thing. But it's like, oh, well, you know, mastodons never existed. What the fuck? No, you must be remembering it wrong. Okay, I know that's not a real one. I just can't think of one off the top of my head, right? So yeah, it's very well. Okay, the people that remember learning about the 52 U.S. states in school, finding out that there's only 50. Like, how can there be so many? Okay, maybe we are underestimating just how bad people's memories can be, but there's got to be something to it. Okay, so memory is very suggestible. This means that information from another person, a person's desire to believe something different, or false information online can influence memory, which is true. This is where things get complete. This is where things get all kinds of messed up, right? So while at the same time, we've got scientists literally providing formulas and theories and not proof. I'm not going to call it proof. What is that thing when a scientist says, hey, this evidence, if this is true, then if this, I've gathered up all this information, and if this is true, if these facts are true, then we live in a multiverse, right? It's a theorem, theories, a theory based on a theory. Scientists are creating theories based on credible existing science. But I have a memory problem. Both things can be true. But yeah, false information can influence memory. And that's true. That is true. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen where, I mean, that's why we have websites like Snopes, the entire reason that site exists is to find out where false information is coming from, to verify whether this is real or that is real, because it's super easy to edit a video. I mean, to edit a photo, to turn that into an entire video is super easy to put. It's super easy to put together. It's super easy to put together something. Oh, I found this and it's true and it's real, and then it just trickles out. I mean, so that's super easy to do, especially with social media being the way it is. Yeah, people can believe a wide variety of false things. For example, scientists have been able to falsely induce memories of committing a crime. In one study, people could not distinguish false from real memories. But I'm not in a scientist. I'm not in a lab. I'm not in a lab, so I'm not being subjected to the conditions that could make the conditions, the pharmaceuticals, whatever it takes to make you think like. I'm not being subjected to that. So yeah, when a rational, sober, well, I'm sober. When a rational, reasonable person is sharing the same false memory with like half the planet, something's weird. Something's either what we believe about how the human brain works is wrong, or what we believe about our external reality is wrong. One of the two is wrong and deserves further study. Researchers have discovered a simple method of inducing false memories called the whatever, blah, 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 the Diess-Roediger-McDermott task paradigm. During the paradigm, participants read a list of related words such as zebra, monkey, whale, snake, elephant. After reading the list, the researchers will ask the participants whether or not they recall a lure word which is related to that word, which is a related word that is not on the list. Usually the participants will recall reading the lure word even though it was never on the list. So zebra, monkey, whale, snake, elephant, a lure word which is a related word and is not on the list. That's weird. I would love to see more examples, but then again, that's being done intentionally. How do I remember Freddie Mercury singing "We Are the Champions of the World" along with millions of other people? I always remember the Statue of Liberty being on Ellis Island. Apparently, it's on Liberty Island. Yeah, I thought it was Ellis Island. People talked about walking past the Statue of Liberty to get to the immigration offices and stuff, because Ellis Island is where all the immigrants came in. Yeah, see, I'll tell you right now. We're living in a construct that it's been reset so many times that it's all that they need to do a defrag and clean up all this. Confabulations are false memories a person spontaneously generates, often to compensate for holes in a person's memory. Well, me not remembering how a song ended isn't necessarily a hole that needs to be filled. So, oh no, I get it. For example, a person who does not recall what happened to Nelson Mandela might conclude that he died a long time ago, then report remembering this fact. The person is not lying. They truly believe the false memory. Okay, that happens. I can be mistaken about something while not realizing that I've gotten wrong. I've gotten wrong information. I've gotten wrong information. I've misunderstood information that I have. The confabulation makes a lot of sense. It does make sense. Well, how did that end? Of the world, right? Isn't that right? And then you just remember it. I remember. Okay, so that makes sense. There's a certain logic in that, and it makes sense. But again, this Mandela effect means that most of us are generating half of our memories, not half, but most of us are generating incredibly high percentages of our memories this way, and that's a problem. That makes no sense. If that's how easy it was for people to generate false memories, then we would be seeing far more. Yeah, okay. A person with dementia confabulates. They are not lying or attempting to deceive. They simply do not have the necessary information or awareness to recall a specific memory or event accurately. So, it's a common symptom of neurological conditions that affect memory. But if I can go through hundreds of examples, then this needs to be investigated. What is it? Because obviously, if it's this easy, if confabulation is what is causing the Mandela effect for so many people, then we need more studies on brain and memory and whatever, because obviously our current scientific community is getting it wrong. And I don't think that's the case. I think that at the end of the day, we'll find that it's a combination of effects, that it's more than one thing. That, because I mean, nothing is ever this simple. This is a simple outcome of a very complicated set of circumstances. Yeah, the Amethyst Ascensions. Hi, Peggy and all. I definitely believe it is where our timelines are switching or something along that line. I have definitely experienced the Mandela effect in a few situations, and I think we all have. We've all experienced the Mandela effect in some way, shape, or form. We all have. And I don't think it's unreasonable to say that is normal. But I was mentioning earlier, I don't know if you were watching earlier or not, but I mentioned that there's the multiverse that you see on TV, and it's like, okay, so the time stream is like this. Reality is like this. And then things can make reality branch off. And I kind of think that for the Mandela effect to be real or whatever, I think it makes more sense, to me at least, that we're talking like a braid where things are like weaving back and forth over each other. So that's how, because if time goes like this, if it goes like this, then any false memories we have are going to be uniform. If we have a single branch in reality, it's going to be uniform memories. It makes sense. So if people are not thinking the same thing, it's because I went on this branch for a while, you went on that branch for a while, somebody else went over here for a while, and then we are nodding and re-nodding the same chord, the same 2 or 3 chords, right? There's also a theory that there's a theory that's been talked about some scientists saying that we are possibly living in a simulation. Well, simulations get reset, and if they're not being reset properly, then obviously some people are going to have this, some people. But that one seems a little bit more far-fetched. They're all far-fetched, right? So how the brain itself works is going to leave us susceptible to false memories. That's just a given. It doesn't explain everything. Or if it does, our current science does not know enough. Priming. In psychology, priming describes a phenomenon in which exposure to a stimulus directly influences a person's response to subsequent stimulus. For example, if a person reads or hears the word grass, they will recognize another related word such as tree or lawnmower more quickly than an unrelated word. Okay, that makes sense, but that's not... I think we're reaching back to dementia and cognition studies versus actual how a normal average human being responds. Priming uses suggestive techniques to trigger a certain response. For instance, did you grab the red ball from the shelf is much more suggestive than the phrase, did you take anything from the shelf? Okay, that makes sense. This is because the second phrase contains a general open-ended question, while the first describes the action of grabbing a specific object, the red ball. Therefore, the first phrase has a stronger influence on memory than the second. Okay, I can go with that, because when we take a look at every single thing we do over the course of the day, we perform millions of actions. Just simply deciding to lift that finger while letting those fingers drop. If you ask me which finger did I raise and which fingers did I drop 2 hours from now, I'm gonna have to guess, right? I won't know. Well, when you raised your middle finger, what did you do with your other fingers? I'm more likely to be primed to remember it. There's some logic in that, but that doesn't explain why I remember seeing news of Nelson Mandela's death. Why I remember the guy at Tiananmen Square getting run over by the tanks versus whatever happened. I think when you watch videos of it now, he's eventually removed by police or something. Alternate realities are okay. Oh, this gets the smallest thing. So the person who originally coined the term Mandela effect was a researcher named Broome. Describes the Mandela effect as a clear memory of an event that never occurred in this reality. And multiple realities are quantum physics researchers are really excited about this, about the idea of alternate realities. Her explanation ties in, and this person was a researcher. Her explanation ties into several popular theories that suggest that the Mandela effect occurs when our reality interacts with other realities, alternate realities, or parallel universes. While these explanations draw upon real theories in physics, they lack scientific support. So the theories are there. I think this is why the Mandela effect has really taken off as a concept. Because if you were to have talked about this in when What the Bleep came out, What the Bleep do we know when that first came out, people were super excited about that, but it was very quickly discredited because the people who funded the movie, who funded the whole thing, were also heavily involved in a spiritual practice, and I don't know much about them, to be honest. So it's like, oh well, this is a religious cult just trying to spread misinformation, yada yada yada. And it got everybody got really excited. It got a shit ton of a shit ton of attention, and then it just kind of died off almost as quickly. And now a lot of the stuff that they were talking about then, what did I say at the beginning? 2004. Hey, long-haired, skinny-eyed toe. 2004, when What the Bleep was made, these were considered very, very out there theories. Physicists were like, this is really cool. This is, oh, wow, this particular thing. Oh, yeah, if you're really into science fiction, you could make this. But they weren't taking it seriously. Now they're now 20 years later, they're taking it more and more seriously, right? It's like, well, wait a second. If alternate realities and alternate universes exist, then we need to know about them for our own national security. If for no other reason, they're taking them more seriously. Scientists have not tested the claim that the Mandela effect proves evidence for multiple universes. Of course, scientists will talk about it as a fun little thing, but nobody's going to put their professional reputation on the line to investigate this, which is really fucking unfortunate. Evidence from memory research suggests that other theories of false memory might be better explain the phenomenon. See, and I don't think it does. While mathematical modeling supports string theory and the notion of multiple universes, both remain controversial. I think that the reason why they remain controversial is the exact same reason why, okay, researchers wanting to seriously study UFOs. How long has it been where the minute you say that, they're like, you're a crackpot? It was professional suicide to even discuss UFOs as possibly being real. Anybody who took a single step, one single step, anybody who even made the tiniest effort to investigate UFOs seriously, they were done. Their grants were canceled. They're, they just didn't have jobs anymore, except for the ones that quietly disappeared into NASA and the CIA and all the other places. Nobody wanted to talk about it because nobody wanted to have their lives ruined because of it. The interesting thing that I'm seeing here, the thing that catches my attention about the Mandela effect, oh, pardon me. Sorry. I've got to drink an ungodly amount of fluids. Basically, the version of COVID that I had, and I'm perfectly fine, but comes with an after effect. And you got to drink a god-awful amount of fluids and then blow your nose every 30 seconds for the rest of the month. But the whining was at a minimal today, so I'm getting better. I am better. Like I said, it's just the inconvenience of the after effects. But anyway, okay. So while mathematical modeling supports string theory and the notion of multiple universes, both remain controversial. I think the reality is that the mathematical modeling supports it. The notion is mathematical modeling supports it. Nobody wants to lose their job for it. Nobody wants to and lose their family for it. If somebody comes in and says, if like back in the 50s, somebody, I'm researching UFOs, goes home, wife and kids are gone because clearly you're having a mental breakdown. That's and everybody would support that idea, even the government. Oh, only crazy people think that stuff's real. It's like, oh yeah, we really support this woman for getting away from this crazy man. People lost their jobs. People lost everything just for believing this stuff. And anyway, we currently live in a world where that doesn't happen anymore. But at the same time, if I was a paid researcher being paid to investigate string theory, I think I'd be very careful about talking about the Mandela effect as being secondary proof of a multiple universe theory. Career suicide, right? It's like, oh, you're just researching this because you think this other weird stuff. I don't think it's weird. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that we need to step up and start saying, I don't care how strange and outlandish and weird this is. We need to investigate this stuff seriously, because whatever it does turn out to be, we really need to know. Yep. And does truly coming forward and saying that they believe in the theory and multiverse fit the current agenda for the powers that be? I believe things are suppressed all the time. Oh, fuck yeah, things are suppressed all the time. I mean, look what happened. Look what happened when the military was forced to provide all their documentation on UFOs, UFO research, everything that they had done. They provided the information. They showed multiple videos proving devices, proving things up in the sky that their jets couldn't catch, that just doop, 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 doop. And nobody's talking about it. That disclosure should have been the biggest news on the planet. And we still don't talk about it. It had its 4 days in the news cycle, and it was done. It was absolutely done. And it's absolutely crazy to think that we have proof of non-human intelligence. We don't know what it is. Are they another species that lives on the planet with us, that they just stay away from us? Are they from another planet coming to visit us? I mean, I think all of the above can be true. So, and we don't talk about it. It's like, go look up the Tic Tac. Like, it's, you know, the truth is out there. And I think at the end of the day, the Mandela effect is very, very simple and very, very complicated at the same time. Of course, some of this stuff could be like, one of them, there was one, I'm in Canada, and there was one where the same product can be packaged different ways in different countries. And there was one where it turns out, the Fruit of the Loom, turns out that there was a competitor brand in Canada that used an almost identical image with the cornucopia. And it's like, oh, well, I wonder if that's what I'm remembering. But then again, that was like from way before my day. So I have no idea, right? Or was it in Canada, or was it someplace else? I don't think it was in Canada. Anyway. So the Mandela effect it's very, very simple. It's somebody's misremembering. Sometimes we misremember because that's just what we do, because we're not perfect. Sometimes we're misremembering, and it makes no fucking sense. Why is something as simple as Nelson Mandela's life so grossly misremembered by so many people who not only remember these things, but remember details that it just shouldn't be possible? Yeah, I seen a lady actually showing a pair of old ones that had the cornucopia. Yeah, see, I saw that, and I think what it turned out is that was that they were in Canada or the UK or something like that. See, and I'm not remembering properly where I got this from, but in some areas they did use the cornucopia, but for some reason, only that area still has it, and everybody else remembers it. And Fruit of the Loom's going, no, we've never done that. And it's like, well, if I'm a 20-something marketing major who's working for the company and gets asked, blah, 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 what happened to your cornucopia? And I'm going to look up the company database, and then I'm going, yeah, we never had that. Because I'm not going to know. I may not know where to go as the graphics get updated and improved and modernized. They may just not keep the old ones. They may not have access to the old ones. There could be a whole lot of reasons why this is just simply bad information that was passed on to the public, and now the debate rages, right? But the thing is that alternate realities and parallel universes are both supported, and simulation are all supported in various theories, various models of quantum physics. So it's like, I can almost guarantee you that there's a team of guys sitting in Area 51, Area 51 adjacent. Like, I don't believe that there's still anything of value left in Area 51. Too many people know about it, right? So it's like, okay, let the public focus on Area 51 while we quietly move everything over to Area 52, right? Anyway, I think there's a bunch of geeks quietly. Maybe geeks is too much of is geeks an insult still? It used to be an insult. I don't think it's an insult anymore. Anyway, I don't know why I'm asking. I think there's a bunch of people that are quietly sitting over there in a special lab somewhere under the watchful eye of the CIA, or somebody who's a little bit more black ops than the CIA, actually taking these questions seriously. It would make no sense not to, because like I said, the mathematical modeling is there. I think it's a combination. I really do. I think it's a combination. I think there's plenty of things out there. Whether or not Britney Spears was wearing a headset when she did this one song on her video is considered okay. She wears a headset for everything else, but she didn't wear it for this one video. I can see that. I can see there being, Bob Lazar. There's supposedly another base that is close to Area 51 under a mountain. Bob Lazar talked about it. Cheyenne Mountain, I think, is the one he talks about. Bob Lazar is really interesting. I would love. That maybe that's somebody that we'll talk about. Oh no, not Bob Lazar, Stephen Greer. Bob Lazar is interesting. Bob Lazar is really interesting, but yeah, a lot of the people that are like Area 51 is under way too much scrutiny to still be useful as a research base. So the idea that people still believe that anything's happening there is well, I guess it makes sense. They want people to think stuff's still happening. I love how your brain works, Peggy. Just saying, I think we could have some wonderful conversations. Oh yeah. See, my brain, everything to me is connected in some weird way. So usually I can start off talking about one thing, and then by the time I'm done, it's like, oh yeah, because this is all connected back to UFOs, don't you know? It's not. The thinking, the mindsets, the Mandela effect is not connected to UFOs. Don't get me wrong. The Mandela effect is not connected to UFOs, but the entire history of UFOs has taught us that while we're being told this can't be real, this isn't true, this is nothing, ignore it, don't look over here, we know that it's being taken very, very seriously elsewhere. So that is the connection. Yeah, Stephen Greer, he's very interesting. He's very, very interesting. So when I connect things like that, it's not like, oh, I'm diving down a UFO. I'm not making everything about UFOs. What I'm saying is we already know how the powers that be in our society work. We already know this. So when you see something weird hovering in the sky at night, you don't know what to believe anymore. When I go through a list of this many things, I walk away going, it cannot be me and 30, 40, 50 million other people having false memories about the same fucking things. Same things. This is the weird thing. We can look up the truth of it, but when we see this false memory stuff, what we're seeing, like I went through this list of everything that was on this list, almost all of it, the false memory was what was more real to me than what they're saying the truth is. Now, do things change over time? Absolutely. But a multiverse theory makes more sense than all of these things. Just, I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, they can recreate the Mandela effect. They can in people with dementia, in people that already have cognitive issues. Can they recreate the Mandela effect intentionally? Okay, United States is what, 300 over 300 million people in the United States right now. Can they recreate the Mandela effect intentionally at scale? The way that's happening now. C-3PO and his silver, he's a golden robot with his silver leg. I don't remember that. Can they do this at scale? Can they do this at scale? Because they can mess with me as an individual and go, see, of those things that we told you, you misremembered 3 of them. It's like, okay, whatever. I don't have a perfect memory. Nobody does. But why is it the same things over and over and over and over again? Right? And that's where it goes for me. So we've got quantum physics, string theory, all this stuff that actually does support this as a hypothesis. No proof yet. It's just all theory. Theories without proof, which is how we put a man on the moon, which is how we created the atom bomb, which is how we created nuclear energy in the first place. Theories without proof is how everything on our modern world was built. So we've got theories without proof, and we've got the exact same interference of going, like, theories of the green men. Well, no proof, so we're just going to tell the public it can't possibly be real while we quietly research it in the background. So Mandela effect theories, but no proof. So we're just going to tell the public that it's a mass delusion involving possibly billions of people at a time while we quietly investigate. I think it's being investigated seriously. I think most things are. I just think that our governments, plural, because I think, I don't think there's a shadow government running the entire world. I think that's not realistic right now, right this minute, because if there was, we would be a lot more, we would be a lot more peaceful than we are. And the things that we are fighting about wouldn't be so gray area, so fucked up. But for some people it's a gray area. For some people it's not, but it wouldn't be so fucked up. That's the thing. So anyway, Mandela effect, I think it's real. I think it has more to do I think it has more to do with something that needs to be investigated. Don't know what. Multiverse, alternate reality. Somebody reset the simulation and forgot and didn't do it properly. They're definitely taking this phenomenon seriously, but even they have no explanation for it. See, I think they're taking it seriously, but I think, but when you try to look it up, it's like, oh, it's not real. It's the conclusions are all. I just read. I think you just came in the last couple of minutes. Lost Geographic. I just read I just went through a Medical News Today article. What is the Mandela Effect? And it went on and on and on about various brain functionalities, which could be involved, probably is, and ignored the more. Well, string theory supports this as a possible. String theory supports multiverse. Well, I'm sure there is proof on certain things, but it's just confidential, and we are seeing whistleblowers coming forward with it, and then we see campaigns to discredit them. Oh yeah, like David Grush. His story is weird. His story is weird. Because he got, he comes forward as a whistleblower, and suddenly Congress is interested, and yet Congress hasn't said a word since. And I think it's really interesting in a whole lot of ways. Like I said, I don't want to force one to equal the other, but the behavior, the reason why I always default back to UFOs is the behavior that we see from our governments and people in power hasn't really changed. So when something controversial, problematic, strange pops up, we're going to get misinformation from all levels, and it just makes it even. So then you're left on your own, going, I think the Mandela Effect is a real thing, and I don't know what's causing it. And then you must be crazy. You must be crazy to believe that stuff. It's like, well, you must be crazy not to see that even if it is an issue with how memory works in human beings, it's not being investigated properly, and they don't know enough about it. So why are they not admitting that the Mandela Effect is real? The Mandela Effect is real. Now we need to figure out what's causing it, but I think they're afraid of what they're going to be asked to disclose. But, oh, look, I'm back on this screen now. I can start clicking things again. I had to be all over the place. Well, I'm sure there's proof of certain things. It's just confidential, and we are seeing whistleblower. Oh, I already did that. Then we see campaigns to discredit them. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff, because it's like, what's really crazy about the Mandela Effect is that at the same time, yeah, I'm usually a believer of what comes out in masses. Like when we were seeing videos coming forward all the time from regular people, that was what I have more of a tendency to believe. Exactly. See, like I can go through that list. We went through like 50, right? I can go through that big list, and I can go, okay, so maybe half of it is just me misremembering things, but all of it, that doesn't make any sense. Pardon me. Now I'm getting on my high horse and talking too much. Now I'm getting on my high horse. But what's your thought on the cause of the Mandela Effect? Well, I think that quantum physics has a lot of plausible theories regarding people are using the mathematics of quantum physics to demonstrate the possibility that we could be living in a simulation. People are also using that to demonstrate the possibility of multiple universes and multiple dimensions. So, oh, pardon me, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm still going to cough. Okay. I think that at least part of the time we are just misremembering things. Nobody has a perfect memory. I think the other part of the time, though, there's definitely something going on. Now, what if it... There are so many thoughts and theories and ideas on what could happen, But I find quantum physics really fascinating. I know nothing about it. Obviously, I sew for a living. I'm not a scientist, but I think it's really fascinating that the mathematical model is generated. Hey, Kay, the mathematical model is created from from the study of quantum physics, has already come up with some very, very weird and bizarre things that supports the idea of multiple dimensions, multiple universes, universal splitting and reforming. It's all there. Now, I don't know if that's what's causing the Mandela effect, but I think that the fact that both of these exist at the same time, and if these theories that quantum physics are coming out with are real, then the Mandela effect, boom, that explains it. I do think that they need to investigate it. They need to investigate it thoroughly, seriously, and publicly. Yeah, I personally think some is agenda, some is multiverse, and some is timeline changes. But honestly, the more I think I know, the less I actually do. Exactly. There's a new trend in science fiction right now. People talking about, oh, blah blah blah, reset button, like a literal like reset. Well, if we're living in a simulation, then what if somebody's been hitting the reset button and we've just got what do you call it when that happens to a computer? You restart your computer and some bits and pieces get left behind. You know, maybe we're just in serious need of a defrag, right? But there is definitely something to it. Definitely something going on. Everyone can't. Oh, I couldn't do this earlier, and now I can. Definitely something going on. Everyone can't simply misremember a genie movie that doesn't exist. Shazam! How does everyone misremember something that doesn't exist? Exactly. And this is the thing. It is one thing. It's one thing if the fact of the matter is, like, we went through a list of 50, and I don't know about you, but almost every single thing that was on that list, I had to misremember. It's like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. So how did that happen? How does it happen that so many things can be misremembered? And there's, Shazam. There was one with Shaquille O'Neal, but I remember another one with Sinbad. As a matter of fact, I did a deep dive and found out that there was something with him in it where he was dressed up as not a genie, but like a Sinbad the actor dressed up as a Sinbad the sailor type character. The same type of thing that a genie would wear, but not playing the part of a genie. I remember it, and I found a reference to it, and people remember it. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I don't believe that the majority is misremembering. There was definitely more to it. The reality is, people with that degree of misremembering in day-to-day life are considered to have dementia. It's like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Now, what if there is an aspect of memory that they just haven't discovered yet, haven't explored yet? That's possible. It's possible. It's possible that could be a very natural, normal brain function that nobody's aware of. But the reality is, when people misremember this much, to this degree, and sometimes in details, it's like when the studies that they've done into memory on this stuff are usually working with people that already have cognitive functional memory issues to begin with. Yeah, mass dementia is a nope. Like I said, okay, it can be something, okay, like that Britney Spears video where she usually has a headset on, but for this one video she didn't. Okay, that can be a mass effect thing. That can happen. Because, well, she normally does this thing. This time she didn't. So I guess nobody noticed and assumed that it was there. That can happen. But mass dementia to this degree, like what, like, and this is okay. This is going to seem like a really dumb one, but Darth Vader was saying, "Luke, I am your father." People literally went out of their way to memorize. Star Wars was such a phenomenal hit that people went and saw that movie like in the theater, in the local theater in my hometown. That movie played for almost a year, and people went to see it every single week, and they memorized things. They took the time to memorize certain lines. They took the time to be very, 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 very aware of exactly what was happening in this movie. Nope, didn't happen that way. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. We're not talking. So Mandela effect, that's fine. Not everybody follows politics and whatever, and that's fine. Okay, let's just say that one was mass confusion. That's fine. But when you take something that is a global phenomenon, it is a global phenomenon. People going absolutely crazy over this movie, memorizing it, and then 20 years later being told that never happened. Makes no sense. There's something going on. And don't know what, don't know where, don't know why, and don't know what the connection is. But no, there's something going on, and it's probably going to take us another 100 years to even get anybody willing to admit to there being an answer of what it might be. But no, I think there's a small group of people. I think there is a small group of people that are taking this very seriously, and other things like it very seriously. And I do think that that's important and necessary. But the fact is that it's a state secret. This is all being handled by Black Ops. This is all being handled in ways that we're never going to hear about. But what do you think? Let me know below. Don't forget to upvote. Tell me I'm pretty. I need it. But no, there's definitely something going on. There is like I said, like the Mandela effect does not equal UFOs, but how UFOs are handled tells you a lot about how, if anybody is taking it seriously, how it's being handled now. But yeah, so that's that. I've been on for a while. I got to get going. I got to think about getting to work. I got some stuff to do. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and ideas below. There's a community post. I did a community post last week, whatever. Add your suggestions to it. What kind of topic you might want to see next? As far as I know, going forward, I'm probably going to be trying to do these every Friday. Today's Thursday, but I'm not going to be home tomorrow. So I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow. I'm so looking forward to that. But going forward, I think I'm going to try whatever else I do for videos, because for those of you who may not know, I usually sew while I chat about just whatever general bullshit we happen to think about that day. But Fridays are going to be pick a topic and wind me up and watch me go, and we'll see what kind of. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you're having fun. But yeah, so Fridays around probably unless better timing comes up, probably going to be Fridays at 2:00 is when we're going to pick a topic and have one of these kind of chats. Rest of my stuff is still going to be sticking with it, just chilling and hanging out while I sew and doing some stuff and whatever I'm doing that day. So in the meantime, if I keep talking, I'm going to say goodbye for the next 20 or 30 minutes. So I'm going to get going. You guys have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.